welcome to Part of My Frenchie. This is me, 143. If you don't have a friend, you have one now. This is the third kitchen edition of the show, and I'm happy to say this is a very exciting edition because this one is a surprise celebration of Coco Chanel's third birthday. So we are doing something extra special and something very out of my comfort zone. And today we are going to make a puppy birthday cake. So I went online and I found one of these. Now, I know I said before in the past that I wasn't into these silicone baking devices, and I will tell you why. In the past, I had bought one of these silicone baking dishes in the shape of a Lego person, thinking that I was going to do one for my son's birthday. Not birthday. It was just actually for just randomly. It was a Lego person. Actually, it turned out to looking like something from The Walking Dead. So it turned out horrible and looked nothing like it was supposed to. So yeah. So I had a bad impression of it. Now, with that being said, I'm not very artistic. So it was probably part my problem. I'm sure other people that have used them have no problem with them. So anyways, saw this online, very cute. I think it was like $9 or something like that. I'll put it in the description below. But again, adorable. And so I thought I'd give it a shot. I bought one online. So thought I'd give it a try. So here's our little baking dish. Now, the recipe that came with it, I will be very honest. I tried it out earlier to make sure that it would work. The recipe that came with it only filled up half of the pan. So what I did was I doubled the recipe for this one. And the cool thing with the recipe is, again, you can make it any way you want. You can add things to it, which I kind of liked. You can tailor it to the way you would like. Again, if your dogs have allergies or things like that, it's up to you. So that was kind of nice. So again, let's get started. Now, typically and shamelessly, what I would normally do, because you know, I'm not one of those people that would typically make a birthday cake for my dog because, again, I'm not that crafty. I would go and buy one. But because I am into this, wanting to know what's going into the items that my dog's eating, I'm now on this new adventure, and now so are you. So let's get started. What we're going to make today is a peanut butter oat cake for Miss Coco Chanel. And hopefully she will love it. And I can't guarantee that it will be decorated nice because, again, I am not that talented in the decorating department. But good thing for me, Coco cannot talk. So she cannot tell me if she likes it or not. So that's a positive. That is a plus for me. So let's get started. So first thing on this ingredients list, we're going to do 2 eggs. So I've got my 2 eggs here. I'm going to put that in right now. And again, I like the fact that the price of eggs are going down. So we're going to add our 2 eggs. And this one, because again, we're doubling the recipe, is going to go 2/3 cup of honey. And I'm going to put that in with my eggs. Now, I don't know about you, but after I put in, when I put in my ingredients, I'm one of those people, and I'll be very blatantly honest with you. In the past, when baking or cooking, I was always one of those people that I put in all the ingredients at once, and then I would mix it. I guess not what you're supposed to do. So what I've learned is I'll put in 1 or 2 ingredients at the time and then mix it up. It seems to bake up better that way. So That's what we're going to do with this. So I've got my eggs in here. I've got my honey. And again, I mean, you can, you don't have to use honey. It did say in the recipe it was optional. It just adds a little extra sweetness if you'd like. So we're going to get that all nice and mixed up. And as we are doing that, our next ingredient we're going to add is going to be our peanut butter. This recipe is going to call for a half a cup of peanut butter. And I will get that added right now. While we're adding this, and again, you can add in, actually, I'm sorry, it calls for a whole cup of peanut butter. So I'm going to add that in right now. Again, you can go organic. You can go, any way you want. Just, I usually just use the regular creamy peanut butter. So we're going to go that way. Throw that all in there. A lot of people don't know how, Coco came into our family. Coco was very unplanned, so to speak. She was very unplanned, but she was a very, very big blessing that came to us. I always say that Coco was kind of like she was my little angel that kind of came into our lives. We had Rosie. Rosie was our first French bulldog. And then after we had Rosie for a while, I decided that, I wanted another French bulldog, and decided to look, into getting another French bulldog. And unfortunately, and you can, you'll see, I did make another video on this a while back, and I can, post it again. But unfortunately, I looked into other breeders and talked to people online. And unfortunately, I went through a situation on Facebook where I ran into some bad people who were going to sell me a French bulldog, and took advantage of me, and basically scammed me on Facebook, and took a lot of money from me, and I was very hurt by it. Now, granted, I'm very lucky with the bank that I had, who, replaced the money that I lost, and so forth, but it was very hard to get over that. It's hard to trust people, and I was very disappointed over the whole situation, and how people can be just so cruel to other people, and my family was looking forward to getting that puppy and all that good stuff, and I had FaceTimed with those people and all that, but nonetheless. I was pretty heartbroken by that situation, and throughout all that, all of a sudden, Coco showed up on the Licking County Humane Society website, and I was kind of skeptical when I had seen it, because the dogs on Licking County go pretty quick, and so I looked and looked, and I decided to go to check it out. And when I went down there, I was pretty, I kind of thought that maybe she was already gone and adopted. Shockingly enough, she wasn't. So, you go in there and they put you kind of through all these tests and surveys and all that stuff. And, they brought her out, and little Coco was a mess. She had come from a really, really bad situation, and it was kind of a match made in heaven, because she was a mess, and I was kind of a mess. We were both a mess. I had gotten scammed and she was a mess from being in her situation. So we were both a mess. And I took her home and it's been wonderful ever since. Now, I want to say probably a month or so after I got her home, that's when I found out, she was deaf, and, that hasn't stopped her since, but she's just been an absolutely fabulous dog. But, like I said, it's her birthday month, so we're going to celebrate her and all that good stuff. So anyway, so we've got all that in there. So let's go to our next step, which is our 1 cup of cooking oil. So let me get that in there. So I'm going to add that next. Okay. So I'm going to get that rolling. And I will go here. Get that going. And yeah, but like I said, that's a funny thing about life. You just never know where things are going to take you. And like I said, sometimes when you think you're wronged in life, you just kind of taken down another path. And it's a path that maybe you were supposed to be on, which is kind of cool. So, I don't know. I always look at it as divine intervention. It's maybe not the one you thought you were meant to be, but, it's the one that you were just supposed to be on. So, all right, I got this mixed in. And so let's go to the next one. Our next one is going to be, we're going to go with, we're going to put in our oats now. So now we're going to add in rolled oats. This is going to be part of our cake, and I'm going to put in 2 cups of these. Now you can add in, if you want to put in something other than oats, you can add in carrots. You can add in, something else if you want, whatever you want to add into your cake. I'm going to add in oats to this one. So I'm going to add in a little bit at a time and get those mixed in there, just to make it something nice and easy. And fun. Add in a little bit more here. But yeah, like I said, Coco's a funny dog. Like I said, she's bizarre. She's got such a personality, and such a blessing. Such a blessing. And she just, even when we do our other videos in our other studio, I mean, she's one of the first ones down there getting ready to hop in there. I swear when it's time to film, her and Rosie are the first ones. They are just, they just know when it's time to roll. I don't know how those dogs know it, but they know it's time to go and film. It's the weirdest thing I've ever known, but God love them. God love them. So, all right, we got our oats in there. So next thing it's asking for is 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. So we're going to get vanilla extract added in there. Where's my vanilla? So I'm going to get that put in there. And Noir's here. She's always my studio audience. I think she just always looks for something to drop on the floor, which is fine. I always like company when I cook anyways. So that's good. But yeah, the good thing is too about making these recipes, what I enjoy too is I really do enjoy finding these things on Amazon. I like shopping on Amazon anyways, but I do like finding these items that I wouldn't normally purchase and trying them out, to see how they work. But then again, like I said before, all these recipes, what you're putting in, the food for your dogs. And, you know, like I said, I'm doing this for Coco's birthday. However, you know, there's other occasions where you can make cakes for your dogs. I was mentioning this to a friend of mine the other day. Every time when we've lost a dog, we've had to, when we bring them home, or when I've picked them up from the funeral home where they get cremated, we always have what I call it, you know, a celebration of life for them. So I decorate the table very nice. I have flowers. I have, you know, I'll usually put their urn there. And then I know it's a sad topic. I understand. And it is a sad topic. I know. But we'll put their picture, we'll put their urn, and then we'll have a nice cake, and then we'll just have a little, you know, celebration of life for them, and then everybody gets cake, including the dogs, and it's just kind of a nice way to celebrate them, you know, coming back home, and then you know, they just go up there. I feel that it's important closure for the family, and you know, for everybody. So, okay, so our last 2 ingredients that are in here is going to be our 2 cups of flour and our 2 teaspoons of baking soda are going to be in here. So I'm going to get that added right now. All going to be in here. And I'm going to take my time and get that added and mixed into the bowl. But yeah, again, it's another way to celebrate. Another just unique way to celebrate the life that that our animals, you know, they've given us. But it's another way for closure for your family. I find it important if you have kids, for them to see kind of a closure. You know, I think it's important for your animals, you know, because again, like I said, and I'll put pictures at the end of this video of some of our celebration of life times. But yeah, everybody gets cake. Everybody just, you know, we sit around, and it's a really kind of, it's a nice, you know, beautiful time that that everybody's together. And it's you know, it's kind of like the coming home. It's you know, it's similar to, you know, when people have a you know, wake or you know, visitation and so forth. And I find it comforting, and you know, just something nice. So just a suggestion, something that you could do. And another way that you can make, you know, have something to make a cake for. So this is almost done. We have all of our ingredients in here, and it's thickening up quite nice. So getting ready to put it in our bone dish, which I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to move this on over here. Bring this on up. Bring this over here. And I'll tell you what, again, when I made one of these earlier, it just bakes up so nice in these. I was, like I said, I was rather impressed when I made the one earlier, because when I made that Lego cake, it was awful. It was absolutely awful. But again, I don't blame the pan. I blame the user. So I take blame myself on that one. So not the company's fault. It was purely my fault. So that was that. But anyways, so, but it looks quite lovely in here, which I will show you. But So we will get that in here right now. And let's see here. This here. Da, 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 da. This is here. Yeah, put this over here. Yeah, so as you can see, got this, whoops, right there. There is that. See how lovely that looks in there? So we're going to get that ready to pop in the oven. Now this is going to go in the oven on 350. So that will go 350. When I baked it earlier, I put it in for 20 minutes. So it's going to go in there for 20 minutes into the oven. And so I'm going to put that over here for a second because I'm going to show you what it looks like when it comes out. Now, again, do not shoot the baker or the decorator, I should say, because, again, it does look quite lovely when it comes out. Oops. And it does slide quite nicely. But so here is here's the end result, and I'll have a picture of it as well. So here's what it comes out looking like. It comes out beautiful out of that pan, and I'll have pictures of it as well. But I want to tell you the frosting on top. So when we made the frosting on top, the frosting is made from, let me put that in there. Frosting is made from plain Greek yogurt, peanut butter, 3 tablespoons of maple syrup, and vanilla, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So, and it really sits up quite nice. So what I can do is this. I'm going to do this. Where's my Greek yogurt? I think I have that out somewhere here. Hang on 1 second. I've got that here. 1 second. Let's see. Greek yogurt. So, because what I can do is this real quick. I can make a quick thing of this frosting, and what we can do is finish kind of decorating this one so I can show you how easy it is. And show you what else I did and how easy that is. So let's whip up a little bit of this real quick. Let me grab we don't have to make too much of it because I've got a lot on here. So what I'll do is this. I will grab, let's see what we're going to do here. I'm going to grab this. Let's see. So we've got our Greek yogurt. And like I said, I'll put the actual recipe in the comments below, but we're just going to make a small batch because, like I said, I don't need that much, but we'll make a little bit here so that I can add something because I want to show you something else I did earlier. And I'll be honest, I was going to cheat a little bit. But I'm not going to do that now. Because I was going to get little bones and cheat a little bit, but I thought I don't want to do that. I don't want to be unfair, so I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to take some Greek yogurt, and I'm going to take some Greek yogurt, and I'm going to add in some peanut butter. I'm going to throw that back there. I'm going to add in some peanut butter because I want you to see how easy this is. So if you're at home and you want to whip up something for your dogs, and let's see what I did with this. Take some peanut butter and let's see, and some peanut butter, and grab some maple syrup. And that, whip that around. Even if, hang on here, take some that, take a little bit of maple syrup, not too much. Yeah, so I was going to cheat, and I was going to go and buy little dog treat bones to decorate on top. But again, it would be defeating the purpose of knowing what's in your dog treats or in your dog food. So I didn't want to do that, right? So what I did was I made these other treats with some of the stuff I had left over. I'm going to take a little bit of vanilla, just a little bit, just for flavor. And this is the exact same frosting that's on the top here. And let's see. Put this on here. So, and again, it's just peanut butter, yogurt, maple syrup, and vanilla. Everything that's healthy for your dogs. I might add just a smidge more of peanut butter. Put that there, just to make it good. Because what dog, except for one that's allergic to it, does not like peanut butter? And I know my little Coco Chanel, loves peanut butter. And it is her birthday, so she deserves only the best on her birthday because she is special. So, but yeah, I mean, but look how simple that was. It took 2 seconds to make a frosting for that. And look how easy that is. Look how simple and easy that is. Simple and easy. So we got our frosting. I'm going to put that over there. That there for a second. Oops. See, I'm making a mess. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to take this. I'm going to try to make this look a little bit nicer because, like I said, I am not. Let me put this in the sink before I make even more of a mess. So over here, clean this up a little bit. But let me show you this. So make this a little bit nicer because, like I said, I'm no cake boss by any means. Although I wish I was. If anybody wants to send me to baking class, that'd be kind of nice. Or cake decorating class, that'd be brilliant. But until then, I'm sure Coco will be fine with what she gets for her birthday. But anyways, so I'm going to finish kind of touching up this cake with one thing that Bob Ross has taught us. This is our world. We can make it any way we want, right? It's brilliant, Bob Ross. So this, and I'm going to touch this up just a little bit more over here, but I will show you the exciting part here in 3 seconds after I finish just adding this. So, boop, boop, boop. And let's see. Okay. Now that we have the fresh frosting on here, let's see. All right, looks like we're good. So, like I said, I was planning on getting little dog biscuits, but I did not because I was not going to cheat you out of that. So, what I did was this. I also, on Amazon, went and found these little molds, little bones, and little paw prints. And I took those, I took some extra, batter, And I made these, so I thought I would stick some of these extra ones on the top. So I can put these around the sides as just little decorations around the tops. And again, that's a good thing about Coco and dogs. No matter what, they love us and they love our efforts. So I'm going to put this and just make it pretty, and I'm sure she will love it because, again, I have not that great of artistic ability, but I do love her, and this is perfect. So, and this didn't, like I said, everything here is all natural. And I also have, I think I have it over here. Let me grab what I have over here. Oh, let me see. I have my topper. Let's see here. My top, yeah, I need my topper. Hang on. And that I have is, I do have sprinkles here. Let me put this here for a second. But I have, put that there. A little bit here. I also have, the dogs can eat sprinkles, so that's not bad for them either. So, little paw prints. But yeah, you can make it any way you want. So, put little sprinkles. And again, make it fun and woolly. Let me add one more finishing touch to this. Let me see, one more finishing touch I have right here. And we should be good. Then you have your homemade birthday cake, if I can get this open. But again, it doesn't take that long, and you have something, or even, like I said, if you are having a party, or going to a party, or if you're even going to a human party, and you want to take something, sometimes people go to human parties and they want to take something that dogs can eat, you know, I think that's great too. You know, oops. Well, that's, oh, there it is. I was like, well, that's not going to stick in there. There you go. How cute is that? So there you have your, let me move this out of the way. Let me move this out of the way. Move that out of the way. So then you have your finished product. And you have your happy birthday cake. So like I said, it's not, you know, it's not the perfect, you know, masterpiece of the cake boss, but it is the perfect masterpiece of somebody that loves their dog and somebody that wants to give their dog something fresh and, you know, something that they made out of love and just something fun to make, you know. And like I said, if you're going to a party or something, you know, that you want to do, you know, that's special, it's interesting. So anyways, I will have all the recipes and everything that I used in the comments below. And look for the next video where Coco, you will see Coco enjoying her cake at her party. And please hit the comments or please drop a comment, hit the like and subscribe button. If you don't have a friend, you have one now. Look forward to the next video. Have a good day. Take care. Bye-bye.
Let's go!